Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Abso-Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Fifth Third Bank, working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. And by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. Well, what a football game in East Lansing on Saturday, 27-20. Michigan gets the victory over the Spartans. Coach Carr, congratulations.
Thank you, Jim.
It's a tough place to play. It's even tougher when you're a Michigan Wolverine, and you came out of there with a great victory.
Well, it's not a tough place to play, but it's a tough place to win. You know, that's the truth.
That's a good statement.
I mean, it is. That crowd is. They're into it. The intensity. They always inspire the Michigan State teams.
Well, the thing that you obviously had was a game plan to run the football. Old-time football.
I know you loved it.
I loved it. Chris Perry carries 51 times, over 200 yards rushing. That had to be the thought going in, right?
You know, Jim, we went in not knowing how they were going to defense us. They had the bye week, so they had a lot of preparation time. We went in with the idea that we were going to be able to throw the football if that's what was dictated. But the run was there, and we took it.
Boy, you sure did. Let's take a look at the highlights. We go to the first quarter. Nothing much happening in the first quarter, except your defense continues to play.
Our defense was outstanding. Here's a screen that's a very difficult play, and Lawrence Reed, who continues to play well, made a great tackle there. And we came out. Michigan State had been a very fast starting team. We stopped them. But we had poor field position throughout the first quarter. Here late in the quarter, we get a drive going, and John behind outstanding protection. Jim, we had one sack in this game. Michigan State went in leading the nation in sacks, and that was a big difference in the game as well.
And this is your touchdown drive. It started in the end of the first quarter and goes to the second quarter, and that's kind of what you did. Pounded the ball with Chris Perry between the tackles.
Well, we blocked very, very well the run block. Here's 2nd and 9. Terry Malone, I thought, made a great call. Normally 2nd and 9 from the 9, that's a passing down, but we hit the inside zone and got the touchdown here on 3rd down and took the lead. And that's, of course, in a rivalry game and on the road. If you can take the lead, it really is a big boost to your team.
At 7-0, and then their next possession, they come back and answer. But the key is the defense, even though you let them down into the red zone on a nice pass here, the defense still hangs tough and keeps them from getting the touchdown.
Well, here's a big play on 3rd down, and Willis Behringer makes a wonderful hit there. The one thing we did a good job of, Jim, is tackling and not allowing many runs after the catch, which is important in defensive football from the standpoint of hitting the receivers, and hopefully that will cause some drops as the game goes on.
Well, it's 7-3 at this point, and then your defense comes up again. And what a play by Grant Bowman here.
Well, I don't know how Grant Bowman even played in this game. He didn't practice Tuesday, Wednesday, had a badly sprained ankle, but you know, he's got a lot of courage, and he, as a captain, wanted to play. He spent a lot of time getting ready, and he did, and fortunately for us.
Right before the half, this is a huge drive here, and it gets momentum for you. And again, it starts on the ground, and then you go up top. Great throw, great catch here from John Navarro to Braylon Evans.
Well, on this drive, I thought Terry mixed in the draw play, and here good protection again, and Braylon runs out of the cut, finds the ball, and well-executed play, and we missed the extra point, but we're going into the half at 13-3.
13-3 with your running game going the way it had gone. You had time of possession in your favor the first half. You had to feel comfortable to a point going into the locker room at half.
Well, the one thing we felt very good about was the fact that we had control of the time of possession. Jim, we had the ball 19 minutes in the first half to their 11. Anytime you're doing that, you're wearing a team down, and we had one turnover, but other than that, we'd done okay there.
Well, it sure did look good in the second half as the Wolverines came back. We'll be back and have the second half highlights. Before we do that, we hear from Dave Pearson, who said the O-line is the key to winning.
Obviously, you know, Michigan State had a high-powered offense, so we wanted to really control the clock. And, you know, just getting that running game going, I think, was huge for us. You know, we felt like we could get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards anytime we wanted to. And I think that was just, you know, it was huge for us.
Well, we just come in and just try to play ball, get pressure on the quarterback, you know, make good breaks on the ball, you know, have fun out there. Just try to stop their offense because they spread the ball around real nice. And we, you know, they're a great offensive team. Our goal is just to come in and stop them. We had the chance.
Willis is kind of excited after that game, huh?
Yeah, but he's an emotional guy. In the last 3 or 4 games, Jim, Willis Behringer stepped in there when Marlon's been out, and he's done one heck of a job. A young kid, and it's great to see that.
Well, when we go to the second half highlights, talk about this a little bit. They get the ball first in the second half. Nothing happens, and then they start to move the ball a little on you, but the defense on a short yardage play stops them, and you get the ball back.
Carl Diggs is having a wonderful year, made a big play there to force the punt. And then on 4th down here, they tried a fake punt, Jim, that, you know, they tried an unorthodox.
Well, they rolled to the right,
yes,
and then
much
they went,
like one of the things we did early in the season. Didn't work very well. But Pierre Woods and Pat Massey just made an unbelievable play on stopping the fake punt. And then we take over with great field position.
and here is the play, touchdown to Minery, naked boot off a fake. Later on, that comes back to haunt you, but it could have been this same thing if they weren't in the perfect defense.
Well,
right?
Jim, there's a perfect case where the run really set up the pass, and Andy got open, and John made a good throw, and then we come back, and one of the few times this year we've given up a big touchdown pass. We missed a coverage call from the sideline. We should have had 2 guys deep, but we only had 1, and you know, the momentum now is shifted back because they get a quick touchdown.
But, and this is what I thought was important for the entire game on Saturday, every time they scored, the crowd was in it, but you quieted them with first downs and a long drive. Here's an interference call on Michigan State that gets you another first down.
Well, he had hit Braylon there. We had a holding penalty and overcame a holding penalty, which normally you don't do. Braylon made a good catch there, and then John, finding his secondary receiver there, makes a great throw. And here on the sweep, Chris running with great power. And, you know, this guy had a pretty good day.
Had the game of his life, 51 carries. And then this is a great throw and catch here.
Well, this is 3rd down. I'm ready to send in the field goal team. But John threw it only where the defender couldn't get it, and into double coverage there. And Braylon, great concentration. That was a big play.
27-10 at this point. Last thing you can have happen is a big return, and you miss some tackles.
Yeah, we missed tackles here, and this Cobb is really fast. There's 2 missed tackles.
How about the play by Carl Tabb?
Carl Tabb saved the day here because he comes over as a safety on our kickoff team, and Carl's done a great job on our special teams all year long.
Then they hit Shabai over the middle, and they're moving the ball a little bit. But again, your defense does not allow them in the end zone.
We kept them out of the end zone here. Lawrence Reed makes a great play. Normally that's a technique in coverage that only cornerbacks use, but because of the no-back set, Lawrence was spread out to the field. We knew they were going to go deep to him sooner or later, and Lawrence Reed made a wonderful play, and we hold them to a field goal.
And of course, they make it at that point 27-13, but you continue to move the football on the ground. This is before the play late causes your problem, but this stuff is textbook.
Well, we're still throwing the football. Steve Breston makes a wonderful catch there on the sideline to keep the drive alive, and we're in a position to make a big play here, but they make a big play, and now the momentum has really changed. The stadium, the crowd is into the game, and on the ensuing kickoff, Jim, we mishandle the kick and get very poor field position. As you see down here on the 14-yard line, John makes a great throw to Braylon, Braylon gets up the field, and the one thing you want to do is use as much clock as you can.
And here's a play that doesn't get anything, but Michigan State gets a penalty for unnecessary roughness, and it's a play in the middle. Watch Dave Pearson's helmet.
Well, his helmet comes off here, and there's no question, it's a costly penalty. He had his helmet taken off once earlier, and he had told the official, and fortunately he saw it here. And then we go back here on defense.
And this is the Hail Mary late in the game. This is their only chance, and Scott McClintock comes up with a pick.
Unbelievable athlete to put Scott McClintock back as one of your deep guys there. You've ever seen him play center field? We have some.
What is a linebacker doing back there? That's the question. Tell me about that.
Well, I didn't know after the game that he had intercepted it.
Oh, is that right?
But I did know that he was back there, and he made a great play because, Jim, as we all know, when that ball goes up, it's like swinging the bat. You swing the bat, you got a chance to hit a home run.
Well, that was
a dangerous play, yes.
Yeah, we've seen that happen before. Colorado comes to mind.
My heart was in my throat.
Well, what is Scott McClintock going back there for? Is it just because he's a great athlete and he has the ability to see the ball and make plays like that?
Well, he is a great athlete, and I think our coaches recognize his abilities, and they had him in the right place.
Talk about Chris Perry.
Well,
did you ever think you'd have a back where you give it to him 51 times? That beats the record by 9.
Jim, I think when I look at Chris Perry, what I love is the fact that this kid is not only a great football player when he has the ball. He runs with great power and leverage. He comes out the other end. He gets a tough yardage. But he is an outstanding receiver, as he proved in the Minnesota game, and he is a devastating pass protector. He is a complete football player.
He reminds you a little Anthony Thomas, because Thomas was one of the best pass protecting backs I've ever seen.
Well, Chris Perry is a great football player, make no mistake.
A great win, too, coming out of that game. Was Big Ten title implications?
Well, I think it was a total team victory. You can't run the football like that if you don't have great blocking up front. We had great percentage on third down conversions, which allowed us to use the clock. Jim, we had the football almost 40 minutes in the game. That really tells the tale.
That does tell the tale indeed.